Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Ultimate Bucket List. And on today's show, I show you around one of the most famously iconic stadiums in all of Europe. The Johan Cruyff Arena, home to one of the most successful football clubs in football history, Ajax. They dominated Europe in the 70s, redefined the game with total football, and continue to produce some of the best players in the world today. And their stadium here on the east side of the city is just as impressive. Originally opened in 1996 as the Amsterdam Arena, it was renamed in 2018 in honour of the club's greatest legend, Johan Cruyff. With a capacity crowd of 55,865, it boasts a fully retractable roof and some of the most modern facilities in all of Europe. This is a stadium every football fan needs to visit once in their life. So, what's it like to actually walk around and do a tour of the place? Well, let's find out. First things first, getting here is incredibly easy. The Johan Cruyff Arena has its very own train and metro station. So, you get off public transport, go outside and, well, you're here already. If you've got time, or if you're early for your guided tour, have a walk around the exterior, because it is striking. With its futuristic oval shape and glass facade, it almost seems brutalist, but in a retro space age kind of way. There are plenty of places to grab some food and drink beforehand, either from food outlets, bars, and even a supermarket outside. And if you're looking for match tickets, the ticket office is right outside here. You'll also find some great Ajax related sites, including statues of club legends. Be sure to snap a picture with the huge Ajax logo and of course the statue of Johan Cruyff himself. But to start the tour, you'll need to go into entrance E and check in at the desk right here. You've got two options: a self-guided tour where you show yourself around, go here to the left. If you've bought a fully guided tour, you'll head towards the right. I decided to go for a fully guided tour, and this is Dia, our tour guide for today. After a quick photo opportunity, you'll be led into the main concourse and receive a brief history lesson on the great man himself, Johan Cruyff, and why he was so important to Ajax Football Club. If you go on a self-guided tour, you'll see this information printed on the walls anyway, and there will be plenty of signs to point you in the right direction. You'll get to see what sports and concerts happen at this stadium, and there's a lot, before walking into the away team dressing room. At first glance, it's actually quite nice. However, the tour guide tells us that they intentionally keep it cold and uncomfortable for the opposing team. And here are some of the most famous players that have played here, most of which are complete scumbags, except this guy, Rooney. What you don't know is that there's one actual match-worn shirt amongst all of these, and I guessed correctly, it's the shirt worn by Frankie de Jong. Here, you'll walk through a sleek corridor lined with images of Ajax's greatest players: Wesley, Zlatan, Boo, and Dennis Bergkamp. Next, you'll head into the technical rooms and the tunnel area. This is where the away team are made to wait before a match. It's an intimidation tactic, as surrounding them is all the honours that Ajax have won. But then you line up at the tunnel to do a tunnel walk. And when you go up the stairs, the crowd noise hits you and you see the immense size of the place. Now admittedly, it doesn't look all that big from my video footage, but trust me, this place is huge. You get to spend time in the dugout areas. I really love the racing bucket seats that both teams get, and there's plenty of photo opportunities around here. Go up a level to the best seats in the house, which are also the cheaper seats as they cost nothing. You can only sit here if you're invited by the club. Even more exclusive is the Royal Box, which is reserved for royalty. But the seats here are really nice, and you can explore them at your own pace, or just sit down because you're lazy like me. Be sure to take in the sheer scale of this place. From up here, the stands rise steeply, creating an intense atmosphere on match days. It's back down the tunnel we go to the Player of the Match wall, which you can take some cool pictures of, before walking through the 100 Club, a mural of all the players who have played 100 games for Ajax. And boy, there's a lot. These guys are great players. Him, not so much. But then you walk into the home team's changing room. And boy, what a dressing room this is! This is one of the most modern changing rooms in world football, featuring individual lockers, illuminated nameplates, and all the comforts a player could possibly want. Seeing the match-worn shirts hung up, it's easy to imagine some of the greatest players in history preparing for battle right here. It makes for an amazing opportunity, except for this guy. Boo! You might want to wash yourself after standing here. Overall though, you'll be mightily impressed with this changing room. Now, onto the media area. These are the interview bays where players are interviewed after the match. Great photo opportunities here of course, but then it's downstairs to the main press conference auditorium, and it's huge. This is where the players and managers get grilled by journalists after a game. You can even sit behind the desk and pretend that you're the new Ajax manager. Pretty cool experience, and not many teams let you sit up here, so it's awesome that this is included in the tour. After that, you can have photos printed of yourself, spit at the TV if this guy is on, and then you'll head across the players and directors car park. Really sweet that they all have their own individual parking spaces. And the last part of the tour is the Ajax Museum. Whilst it isn't the biggest football museum I've been to, it's certainly pretty cool to explore. The highlights of the museum include Johan Cruyff's game-used memorabilia, the 4 Champions League trophies that they've won, and all the other bits of silverware and honours that they have in their possession, as well as video displays of their greatest ever moments. Once you've soaked in all that history, your tour ends at the club shop. It's packed with Ajax's classic red and white shirts, retro jerseys, whatever the hell this is, and all the Ajax themed merch you could possibly ever want, including Ajax brand snacks and this cool captain's armband, which obviously I bought for myself. So Nin, where does this rank in the hierarchy of your stadium tours? Quite highly. The branding is fantastic. You see quite a lot of stuff. The staff are friendly. I kind of fancied beer a little bit, so that pushed it up a little. And there is a museum, albeit not the biggest one I've ever seen. Compared to some of the more restrictive tours out there, this one feels like a proper experience. My only real criticisms are that there's not more areas of the stadium that they let you into, such as the corporate hospitality areas and other parts of the stadium stands. And there's no difference between a self-guided tour and a guided tour, even though the website says there is. So if I were you, save the extra €7 and show yourself around in your own time. But overall, the Johan Cruyff Arena is worth a visit. The ease of getting there, the fantastic stadium, the rich history, and the interactive museum all makes this worth the trip. Whether you're an Ajax fan or just love football, this is a must-see. Okay Nin, I'm sold. What do I need to do? Well, you need to come here to the Johan Cruyff Arena. It's dead easy to find. It's located on the east side of Amsterdam, and to get here, the easiest way is to use the metro. Use line M58 in the direction of Gein, and get off at Amsterdam-Bijlmer Arena station. Once you arrive, the stadium is literally outside. The cost? A self-guided tour costs €20, which I think is pretty good value for money. The guided tour costs €7 more, but if you ask me, save yourself €7 and show yourself around. There is a third option, a VIP tour at €45, where you'll get to see the Royal Lodge and get a drink at the Skybox, but it doesn't seem to be worth the extra €18. Tickets to Ajax games start from about €30, and you can book both a tour or a match ticket on the website www.ajax.nl. If you're looking for a place to stay, there is a hotel directly outside the stadium, but you'll get a better deal staying in downtown Amsterdam and getting public transportation in. Is there anything else I need to know? Yes. Bags larger than a sheet of A4 paper are not allowed inside the stadium on game days or on tours. There are no bag drop facilities at the stadium, so please do not come here with a large bag as they won't let you in with it. Also, this is a massive stadium and you'll be walking for quite some time, so please be sure to wear comfortable shoes and take your time. And finally, if you are coming to Amsterdam, check out my complete Amsterdam City Guide right here, the most helpful guide on YouTube to help you plan your bucket list adventure here to the Dutch capital. If you have enjoyed this video guys, please be sure to like, share and subscribe. Comment on that comment section below, and if you've got any other bucket list ideas you want me to do, tweet them at me. If I get enough suggestions, I'll go ahead and do that. But guys, thanks very much for watching and we'll see you in the next episode. And there's another plane overhead ruining my audio. Isn't it great being next to an airport? Somewhere around here. It was a good tour, but it's Man, someone's roaming a car over there. Yay! Boy, that is a long car alarm, or fire alarm, or something or alarm. The things I do for YouTube.